to the rules anyway. Well, you're giving them a shutdown, which legally allows them to do exactly what they're doing right now.
And they're going to do it anyway.
Veterans would be harmed. They wouldn't get their VA benefits.
They're already being harmed. No one is fighting for the American people, and it's feckless and it's weak.
Shutting down the government is not fighting for the American people. It costs the economy billions of dollars.
This man
people
has
don't get their
destroyed
benefits.
so much in 1 month.
Welcome to All Star Buzz. We're glad to have you here. Before we jump in, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps us out. Now, let's get into it. Things got chaotic when the producers tried to wrap up the show early. Why? Because the guests couldn't stop clashing. Heated arguments, non-stop drama, you name it. But here's the real kicker. Are people even watching this anymore? Feels like I'm the only one paying attention. Meanwhile, the Democrats? Total meltdown mode. They're furious over Chuck Schumer, outraged about Elon Musk, and completely unraveling over Donald Trump. Buckle up, because this is about to get wild. Let's break it all down.
I can almost cry today for these people, these vets who are losing everything. Why don't the Democrats go out there and march and stop with each other? I'm sick of it.
Well, I don't know, Joy, that they're fighting with each other. They're not fighting a unified fight. That is the problem.
The fact that Nancy is now out there criticizing Schumer, stop it already.
You know why she's criticizing him? Because he should have been fighting for that veteran. He should have been fighting for the people of America that are feeling the way that they are feeling. The Americans that I've spoken to, people that approach me almost every single day, say they don't feel like the party is fighting for them. This is not about.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Go out and fight for them.
But it's not about. Well, he had the opportunity to fight for them. Chuck Schumer caved to the GOP and got nothing. This was actually. This was not actually the choice. But Joy, the choice was not between a no vote on the partisan GOP spending bill and a possible shutdown. It was a choice between a no vote and forcing Republicans to explain why they walked away from that possibility of a bipartisan agreement. And the core disagreement was around a willingness to fight, even if that meant convincing the public that the harm from a shutdown was the fault of Trump and the Republicans, because they are going to do exactly what they are doing. They're taking money away from vets. They're going to take money from Social Security. They're going to take money. So let them hold the water.
The producers were in a frenzy, rushing to cut the show short. Honestly, at this point, why not just pull the plug altogether? But hold on, veterans losing everything? Can someone explain that? They keep talking about cutting government waste, yet no real action is being taken. What's really going on here?
Hold the bag. Democrats in the House were prepared for that fight. Chuck Schumer caved.
They didn't have the votes in the House.
Okay, so it would have been worse.
They didn't even have the votes.
If he didn't concede, it would have been worse. And that's what was surprising about Pelosi saying that, because she knows from her experience as Speaker of the House that the negotiator told Chuck Schumer he did not have the votes. He could not get the votes. He shut it down. And one thing that changed my mind is yesterday I called him on the carpet and said, how are you leadership when you only get 9 Democrats to follow you? But then someone shared something that made me change a little of my perspective. They had exactly the number they needed to not shut down. So he gave cover to a ton of Democrats that probably in common sense terms knew their voters would backlash if they shut the government down. And honestly,
he gave coverage to the GOP.
Was it okay for them to blatantly lie without offering any real details? What exactly was uncovered between U.S. aid and other agencies? And let's talk about the billions in taxpayer dollars vanishing into thin air. How is the government managing to waste that much? It's absolutely mind-blowing. Oh, and here's the kicker. They're now tangled in a debate over a government shutdown. The one thing Democrats have been scrambling to prevent is suddenly back on the table. Unbelievable.
Nobody's fooling themselves. It's a minority. They don't have the math. It's just basic math. There are facts there. It's not an opinion. They cannot avoid this. And if they bent the knee and pushed back just to show the public they were fighting, we would have ended up worse off. They would have gutted it even more.
They're going to do it anyway.
Legally so, though. So right now we're in the courts. We have more than 2,000 cases because of Doge and Elon Musk. I believe in the court system. I believe in the judges. I believe the one stopgap will be that moment. But when you cave and say, well, they're not listening to the rules anyway, well, you're giving them a shutdown, which legally allows them to do exactly what they're doing right now.
And in a shutdown, veterans would be harmed. They wouldn't get their VA benefits.
They're already being harmed.
Sunny Hostin is absolutely losing it, because Democrats were so desperate to avoid a government shutdown that they actually sided with Trump. Well, at least Chuck Schumer did. And let's be real, Sunny has no clue what she's talking about. It's like the entire table has turned against her, and the tension is off.
No one is fighting for the American people, and it's feckless and it's
Shutting down
weak.
the government is not fighting for the American people. It costs the economy billions of dollars.
This man
people
has
don't get their
destroyed
benefits.
Gas prices are falling. Eggs are getting cheaper. And people are actually feeling a bit more optimistic. But let's be real, some folks are stuck in their own bubble. They're convinced the whole country shares their doom and gloom outlook, acting like everything is spiraling when, in reality, not everyone sees it that way.
Pull themselves
But
together now.
as
I
we
do
speak,
believe
the
it.
courts
I don't
actually
agree.
stated that
Every day there's some atrocity going on. Every
courts-
day I wake up, what did he do today?
the courts just ruled that more than 20,000 federal workers have to be reinstated because what Doge did was not lawful.
So listen, be careful, because this is what they want. They want this fighting.
Infighting.
They want this infighting. What's happening now, Democrats don't have what they need to get what they want done. So again, people have to get out and you have to march. You have to start making noise.
Right.
This is now coming back to us. The only way people are going to hear how angry you are is if you get out there. We've done it when people were being sent over to Vietnam disproportionately. We got out there and we made noise and we made a difference. We made a difference. We made a difference when it came to women's rights. We made a difference when it came to black people's rights. If we don't get up and get out there and start making the noise we have to make, it's not going to change.
Stand up
So
for the veterans.
I appreciate,
Polls show most Americans actually want government waste to be tackled, and some even believe that money should go back to taxpayers. Meanwhile, this show, an absolute disaster. It's not just divided, it's a full-blown train wreck. At one point, The View devolved into a nearly 5-minute shouting match, with the hosts going at it over whether Democrats are falling apart or not. One person is demanding, "Shut the government down," while the rest of the table is yelling back, "No, that'll hurt Americans even more."
I love Chuck Schumer. I love all these people who dedicate themselves, but it is now on us. We have to do it. You want to save your Social Security? You got to get up and you got to start screaming. Because the only way they're going to understand that you're not going to put up with it is if you don't put up with it.
Democrats are already in shambles, and this show is only making things worse. Honestly, I'd bet they have no idea what's even happening. And here's the real eye-opener. So many of these shows, especially the ones bankrolled by billionaire-backed corporations, not the billionaires themselves, but close enough, are completely disconnected from everyday Americans. The millionaire hosts running their mouths clueless. And this is exactly why they've lost touch.
What their attitude is, I made my money all by myself. How dare your government take my money from me? I don't want to pay taxes. Or, I built my company with my bare hands. How dare your government tell me how I should treat my customers, or my employees? They hate government. Government's a barrier to people, a barrier to stop them from doing things. They want to destroy it. We are not letting them do it, and we're united.
I came across a clip of Donald Trump that perfectly sums up why the Democrats are losing. And honestly, I think shows like this are a big part of the problem. They're completely out of touch with everyday Americans. They just don't get it. And one of the wildest moments came straight from the show itself. Chuck Schumer, who, by the way, even Democrats are starting to turn on, said something so outrageous on live TV that not even The View could spin it in his favor.